Happy New Year. Happy Friday. Hi, Audra.
Hi, good morning and happy new year to you. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I am wonderful. Welcome everyone to 2026.
Yay! And Friday Wins Live, the first Friday of 2026.
Yeah, and it's going swimmingly.
Yeah. We're a little late to the game this morning because we had some technical difficulties. So if you're listening and you hear a lot of feedback or weird noises, please let us know in the comments and we can try to troubleshoot. That's how it is, technical difficulties, but we will overcome.
Yes. I mean, the gremlins weren't going to let us off easy, were they? I mean,
All right. Well, welcome to watching Friday Wins Live, and hello to everybody out there. This show, Audra and I have been doing. This is episode number 11. I'm pretty like consistency. Look at us,
yeah.
and our objective is to shine a light on the incredible talent that is out there in the mortgage financial services, mortgage technology, mortgage servicing space. So we bring in incredible guests to talk about what they see, what's coming to the industry, and what kind of roles would they be a perfect fit for. So today we have an amazing guest. Her name is Stacie Rankey. I have known her for so long, I couldn't even remember where we first met. I'm just thrilled to have her here. She has over 20 years experience across mortgage, legal services, financial services, and her niche is turning client relationships into real measurable growth. She's led through challenging markets, including sustaining 123% market share post COVID with zero client losses. And she drove 600% revenue growth while quadrupling a client base. She has served as interim chief revenue officer, built retention and expansion strategies that actually stick, and she's being known for the person companies trust when relationships, revenue, and reputation all matter at the same time. She's that magician who can get more revenue out of your existing client base because everybody knows like the cost for new client acquisition is so much higher than expanding your relationships with your current clients. So Stacie is a very well-known leader in that space, and we're excited to have her here. I'll bring her out. Welcome, Stacie.
Good morning. Hi, how are y'all?
Great.
Welcome to the hot seat.
Thanks, Audra.
Did you have a happy new year? Ready to hit the ground
Year.
running?
Yes, definitely looking forward to 2026 and ready to get moving. Glad love the holidays, but glad that's over and time to move forward now.
Mm-hmm. And you're in DFW, Texas, right? And you're enjoying like a nice mild winter so far. Knock
Yes,
on wood.
at 9 o'clock this morning, it was 62. And so we went outside and played, and that does not always happen, but it's Texas.
Good, good. Well, hopefully it just stays mild and no trouble into the spring.
We can hope for that.
All right. Well, we have some questions for you to
Okay.
really dive in. Audra, is it your turn to ask questions or is it my turn to ask questions?
We have slipped into the holiday club. I don't recall, but I will kick us off with the first question, and then I'll kick the second question off to you because I don't remember.
Okay.
So, and if we're getting feedback, let us know because we can hear feedback. We don't know if you're getting it. So let us know if you're receiving feedback. So, Stacie, here's our next question.
Okay.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining. So, here's the first question. I know we're coming out of the holiday summer, but as you look across the industry spectrum, what do you think is on the horizon we should be watching?
Well, I think that a lot of people in the industry are looking at this as our normal cycles that happens with housing market, employment, and things like that. And what we're really living with, I believe, is really the ramifications of COVID from 2020. Now we're in 2026. We knew it was going to have long lasting effects. We just didn't know what those were going to be. Obviously, the servicers felt the pain during COVID. I think the rest of us are now feeling the pain with layoffs and changes in organizations and how they're moving forward. But I think AI is going to be huge. I mean, I know that's kind of the buzzword everywhere we go, but I think we also know for real estate, especially mortgage banking, if we don't have our own compliance box built around this, then we will end up dealing with regulatory and compliance issues from the government. And I don't think we want that right now. And I think that we need to decide how are we going to use this technology as an industry standard. And I will be curious to see as we move forward to 2026, if MBA comes out with a standardization that perhaps some of the big three are interested in implementing in audits. And I think we're going to probably see a lot of it come out that way.
Nobody likes that.
No, we can do without audits.
Mhm.
But I think we have a span of time here to be proactive, and that has not necessarily been our strong suit. But I think the organizations who are forward thinking, who are already, we all know. I mean, I'm a customer experience officer person, so I know the first thing to go is client relations, customer service, all the things you don't think you need because it's a downward market. However, you still have clients who expect to get excellent customer service in downtime and in uptime. And hopefully our
Oh, no.
And we've lost Stacie.
What happened to Stacie?
I told you the gremlins were not going to let us off easy for 2020.
I know. Hi, Suha. Hi, Melissa. Hi, Jill. It's great to see you. Happy New Year.
It is Texas and winter. It is winter in Texas. And
Yeah, exactly.
It's always messing with the technology, so you never know what's going to happen.
Well,
But
I know before we went live too, she has kids around. So kids plus the internet gremlins plus, what can go wrong will go wrong. Got a
absolutely.
recipe here.
Well, she did say a couple of things, and we do have Jill, who is here on the comments, as well as Suha. So there was a couple of things that she said that maybe we can discuss. One was compliance, which our residence expert is here. And two, she said AI. So I'll take one at a time. Compliance has now been kicked down to the states. There was this reprieve where they thought, oh, free for all, no compliance. Joke's on us. It's now been kicked down to the states. So I'll ask this question out loud, and I'm hoping that Jill will chime in on this. How do you think the states will handle now that the compliance is on their shoulders? Because they're not going to get off easy. It's just going to be more work on the part of the states. How do you think that they're going to respond? I mean, they've been used to auditing, but they have not necessarily been used to shouldering the responsibility. How do you think that they're going to handle that, Molly?
Well, and for the women who sit in those seats in the compliance, used to, you could focus on the federal regulators and audits. But now with states implementing their own different set of, now you've got 50 sets.
Yeah.
Depending on how big your company is. And at a time when, many companies wish that they could implement AI just to substitute for payroll, 50 different sets of regulations, audits, and exams. That's a pretty scary proposition. So Jill says it took months for them to step up, and now I think they are scrambling to get things in place.
Yeah.
Agreed. Because depending on the state, depending on how much teeth it's going to have, depending on the state, how much teeth.
Yeah,
You get the idea.
I do, because some states, and I think it'll be drawn definitely on the political leanings, on how lenient or how stringent, yeah, is that a word? Yeah, that's a word. Words are fun. On how they're going to crack down on on the different lenders, and the servicers, and the list goes on and on. So it'll be fun. Jill and everybody like you, hang on. You're going to have a great time. And I say that facetiously. Um, have have a hobby now, maybe, to help ease the stress. Something. Take a pipe.
Yeah.
No.
Well, because those compliance experts like Jill, like Stacie, you're gonna be busier than ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Those early days when we thought, oh, we can use software to figure this out. Not so much.
Yeah, because 'cause they're not caught up either.
No. And Suha, thank goodness, because now she's chiming in with some AI expertise on here, and I was hoping that you would. It's not just a compliance issue; it's just the 50 states, and now you have Freddie Mac and all the new AI requirements take effect March 2026, and the executive order that came out on the heels of that. Perfect recipe for disaster.
Yeah,
What could go wrong?
yeah. Thanks, Suha, and guess what? We've got Stacie back.
Excellent.
Woo! I said compliance and customer service, client relations, not technology.
I know. Well, and Jill, she says, "You had 50 sets of rules and regs and exams, and you're seeing certain things being focused on in certain states. Social media marketing is seeing a huge uptick in issues because of this, and the idea that AI could take over and create content and review materials, and the problem is that that is not fully built out." So, thinking, "Oh, I can just get a software package to deal with this," they aren't ready.
And hopefully they will understand that by the massive amounts of tools that have been coming out. I mean, I'm blown away every day when I get an update on what's new with any of the AI technology apps. Those are being added every day. And I think the other thing that we have to remember is there's always been interest in real estate. A lot of it started with originations where they're renting, but we have seen interest really through COVID moving forward, be a lot more from people on the origination side, people on the secondary side, people that don't normally come to the servicing conference in February came to the servicing conference. I don't think that's going to stop. I think that one of the challenges we have in our industry is that a lot of things were set up to work one way, and that way has just been going on for years and years. And that way was great when it came out, but we need to update with the technology that's out there. Doing it the same way is not going to be an answer you want to give your client or your boss, because it's not going to be the same. It's about being creative and understanding the technologies, and that they're technologies. They are not human, so you must check them. We've already seen what happens when attorneys use ChatGPT and didn't check any of the references. I think that's a very real problem. And I've asked a couple of attorneys and servicers, what's our policy on, what's going to be your policy on AI? And they told me the policy is that we have it, which is
Great.
not really what I think they need to be thinking about.
That's disturbing. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
Here we are live, and I don't know. We have it. Okay. Okay. I went over some of this before we brought you out, Stacie, but you've had many career achievements that are well documented. But can you tell us what's an achievement that you're most proud of?
Well, I love all the pieces because there's so many parts that go together to make a client relations or customer experience department. But there are some things that we need to continue to use that we've used as tools in the past. And I was able to actually create a statement of work for a client relations department, which included branding, how we're going to use the logo, all the things that impact the brand, that impact the customer, and how that's going to impact revenue. And so being able to start with the branding piece, going through that, really determining personality, what do we want our customers to think of? Not necessarily what do we stand for, but what do we want our customers to think of when they think of us? And are we, a resource? I don't want my customers to only call me when they need help with a file or they're trying to determine what conference to send to their people to. I want them to call me and say, hey, we've got this problem with this vendor. Is that something you can do? Yes or no? That there's going to be those kind of opportunities. And I think we're going to have to be very fluid and listen to them as they come in, because these are people who are not used to these kind of challenges. This has not been part of our world before, in some degrees, but not in broad form. And I think that there is going to take a bit of learning curve, and that things need to be checked. Just because Chat GPT sends it to you doesn't mean that it's necessarily always correct. But I think that it's something that will make our lives much easier, and people can probably have more time with their families using AI. But you have to learn the proper way to use it and the proper protocols and what your framework's going to be for your office or your servicing shop.
So you have to have structure. You can't just say, as Suha says in the comments, we have it. That's not a policy.
A lot of times they think that's a big success. We have it. Well, there's a lot more. I mean, once you have it, it's like you got a box. Now, what are you going to do with that box? And I think the challenge will be for those that are long-standing who like things the way they are, is that it really allows us as people and as companies to put our mark on something, because it's going to be as real as we create it, and really make mortgage banking something that's easy and look forward to being done, not just kind of like, got to fill out the app, got to do this, got to do that. It's exciting. It should be exciting. And so I think that if the companies will take time the first few weeks, months here in January to determine what their internal way of approaching AI is going to be, and publishing that, and being very loud and saying anything that's created with AI has to go through these processes before it leaves this office, then I think that we'll start to see some changes, and we'll be able to move more flexibly into what's happening with technology.
Yeah, Suha brings up a good point that, like, she says that since lenders and servicers are the ones on the hook because you cannot outsource your accountability.
Right.
As a lender or servicer, you can't just hope that your software provider takes care of it.
No.
You're the one that has to answer for it, so you have to understand how it works. Excellent point, Suha, thank you. Okay, so, our next question,
Okay.
Stacie, what is your North Star? What guides you in your
Oh.
decisions?
Well, this won't surprise anybody because I do talk about my family ad nauseum. But I mean, my family, it is my husband, and it's, of course, my daughters, but the grands, oh, they are the reason I do everything. Um, and it's because I also want them to see what is different in the world than when I was growing up, and what they have the ability to work with. And so we play around with stuff. I let them, put stuff in Chat GBT. We talk about what that means. We talk about what kind of questions, because it is going to be part of their world. I mean, in fifth grade, in our school district, they start talking about AI. Well, I've already got some in fifth grade and passed. So just trying to explain to them, and I think show them in a way where it's not like, oh, it's technology, which I know some people do that. There's nothing you can break. It's just about learning, and kids do great in that environment. And it's probably helped me some with my education on AI.
I bet it has. It's that old saying, like, you don't understand it well enough unless you can explain it simply. So if
Yeah.
you can teach it to a 5th grader, you're getting it.
Yep. And some of the questions that they've had have been really interesting, probably more introspective than adults. Like, well, if it can do that, could it do this? And I think it really has a lot to do with, they're in that age range, under 10 of anything can happen. It's magic, right? We just had Santa Claus. So can't this do that? So I think it's going to be really fun to see how the technology is used to educate, as well as run our industry.
Yeah, and just for everybody listening, Santa Claus will not fix your compliance issues. It is only professionals.
He will shoot right back up that chimney as soon as he sees it.
Okay. Finally, in this season of, if you're doing meetings with clients and if you have something difficult coming up, what song hypes you up without fail? Like, what is your go-to hype song?
Well, I really have two, and I think you'll understand. My first one is that I turn on as loud as I can and sing it until as as long and hard as I want to is um, Hard Fought Hallelujah with Jelly Roll and Brandon Lake, because I think it's just real raw and true. And then one that kind of became my song when I was doing my best breast cancer treatment. And really, I thought, oh, I think I'll keep this as my anthem is Audra Day Rise Up. Because really, at the end of the day, you're going to do that every day, no matter what happens in your day. So that one gets me going. And, the kids have to all listen to it sporadically through the day. If I'm feeling a little down, oh, we're going to listen to this. So, I think we need that time to uncharge and just kind of let loose. And that's definitely something I do. I've always got music going on in the background. So, um, I'm looking for soothing or supporting.
Well, we have a Spotify playlist for Athena's Council. It's full of the hype songs that our guests have chosen. So it's a fun compilation of it'll get you going. So